Today we're talking about Habakkuk. Habakkuk, however you say it. We're talking about him. Now we don't know much about Habakkuk, except that he was a prophet. He saw an oracle of God and he wrote it down. And he was faithful, he was a man of faith, and he lived out his faith. But he was perplexed. He was puzzled about what he saw all around him and how God responded to that. Now, if you look at the book of Habakkuk, we see some conversations with God. Habakkuk leads off with a question. He'll have a follow-up question, and then he'll have a response to God's responses. Habakkuk trusted God, yet he was puzzled. In Habakkuk chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, Habakkuk asked a question. It's a question we all might ask. Where is justice? Let's read the text. O Lord, how long shall I cry for help, and you will not hear? Or cry to you, violence, and you will not save? Why do you make me see iniquity? Why do you idly look at wrong? Destruction and violence are before me, strife and contention arise. So the law is paralyzed, and justice never goes forth. For the wicked surround the righteous, so justice goes forth perverted. So basically, Habakkuk is asking the question, why are things so bad? Why does God allow the increasing evil in Judah to go unpunished? Habakkuk is sitting back and he's watching all this happen. Lord, where is your justice? How can you just let this happen? How can a good God allow such evil? Now listen to God's response in verses 5 through 11. Look among the nations and see, wonder and be astounded. For I am doing a work in your days that you would not believe if told. For behold, I am raising up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, who march through the breadth of the earth to seize dwellings not their own. They are dreaded and fearsome. Their justice and dignity go forth from themselves. Their horses are swifter than leopards, more fierce than the evening wolves. Their horsemen press proudly on. Their horsemen come from afar. They fly like an eagle, swift to devour. They all come for violence, all their faces forward. They gather captives like sand. At kings they scoff, and at rulers they laugh. They laugh at every fortress, for they pile up earth and take it. And they sweep by like the wind and go on. Guilty men whose own might is their God. This response from God knocks Habakkuk back. Habakkuk wanted to know, God, why are things so bad? And God's answer to him was, things are going to get worse. And so Habakkuk has a follow-up question. Why use evil for good? He asked God in chapter 1, verses 12 and 13, Are you not from everlasting, O Lord my God, my Holy One? We shall not die. O Lord, you have ordained them as a judgment, and you, O rock, have established them for reproof. You, who are purer eyes than to see evil, and cannot look at wrong. Why do you idly look at traitors, and remain silent when the wicked swallows up the man more righteous than he? Basically, what he's asking God here is, why are you using Babylon? How can a holy God justify using the Babylonians, a people way more wicked than the Jews, to punish the Jews? Well, we see God's answer to Habakkuk's question in chapter 2, verses 2 through 4. The Lord answered me, Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. For still the vision awaits in its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Behold, his soul is puffed up, is not upright within him. But the righteous shall live by his faith. So basically, God is telling Habakkuk to do three things here. First, he says, write plainly. Write what I'm telling you, Habakkuk, so clearly, so plainly that the average person who hears it and who reads it can run with it and act on it. Because this oracle, this prophecy is going to happen. It's going to come true. In fact, Babylon was right there on the brink of capturing Jerusalem and enslaving the Jews. So the people needed to get ready for it. Second, he tells Habakkuk to be patient. Be patient. I'm still God. I'm going to act. I'm going to do what is right. Be patient. And third, Habakkuk, you do your duty. I gave you a job to do. You do it. You live by your faith, even in spite of your circumstances. And so basically, in a nutshell, what God answers Habakkuk is, you do your job, Habakkuk, and I'll do mine. And the key to all this is chapter 2, verse 4, where it says, the righteous will live by his faith. And then in chapter 3, we find Habakkuk's response to God. I encourage you to go and read it. Well, first, Habakkuk praises God for what he has done. Habakkuk recounts these things that he has witnessed God do, and he praises God for it. Second, Habakkuk has faith in the face of his circumstances. Listen to verses 16 through 19. I hear and my body trembles. My lips quiver at the sound. Rottenness enters into my bones. My legs tremble beneath me. Yet I will quietly wait for the day of trouble to come upon people who invade us. Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food. The flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord, is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places. All that Habakkuk holds dear will be destroyed. And yet he praises God and waits patiently for the day when God will act and make all things right. God sustains us in the good times and in the bad, in the happy and in the sad, when things are great and when things are not so great. God is there and he sustains us, and he calls on us to wait patiently for him. So be patient, praise God, and exercise your faith no matter what. Well, may the Lord bless you today, and may you dare to be like Habakkuk.